What is up? What is cracking? You guys, it's your girl Ash, and I'm here to talk about another dream I just had. Now, this dream was not at nighttime, this dream was just right now. It's like early morning. I may have been sleeping just shortly, like 6, maybe for 40 minutes, but right now it's like 7:17. But the dream felt like it was forever, but I only fell asleep, dozed off really quick. Now in this dream, I was living in this building and everybody was outside of the building. I don't know why everybody was outside of the building, but everybody was outside of the building. And it was like everybody was just confused of why they had to be outside of the building, just waiting to see, could we go back in the building, in our homes? And I remember one lady came down. She was like a lady that's been living in the building for a while. She was mid-age, maybe late 40s, 50s. And she was like whispering, but she was kind of like trying to tell us, like warn us about something. And she's like, oh, now the windows are blown out. And then when I look up at the building, I see like a bunch of windows blown out or windows busted out. And I'm like, why are the windows busted out? Why are the windows blown out? And everybody is just confused. And it had to be like maybe 30 women and children. I didn't even see any men. So I'm guessing that it was like a low income neighborhood. Not saying that men are not in low income neighborhoods, but it had to be just somewhere where women and children were at. Because that's all I saw was women and children. I feel like this lady knew more to what was going on than everybody else did. And she was like whispering, came over to me, and I was standing by somebody else, and she's whispering like, yeah, they know what they doing. And I heard poisoning as well. And I'm like, poisoning? And I'm thinking like, man, maybe I need to get up out of here. Like maybe I need to go find another place to stay, or go find another place to live, or just something's not right about this place. And this lady was kind of trying to warn us, like, yeah, just because of what you see, or just because of how they act, doesn't mean that's what it is. So it was like this little basement, and the kids started to go down in this little basement, in this room inside of the basement. It's like a door on the outside, but when you go open the door, you go down steps and you see one door, but that door was chained and locked up. And then you see a door just in front of you and it's open, and like the kids were just playing in it. Everybody, just started to play in and just go back and forth from outside to in this little basement room. And I feel like people didn't pay no attention, because it was like the landlord or the owner just left the basement door open because the windows were blown out. And I guess they were just trying to fix it or get whatever's fixed. Now, it may have been a fire, or it may have been something, but I'm not really sure why the windows were blown out and why this door had been left open, this basement door. And just the kids are just being real loud, and you can't really hear much but the kids at first. And I'm down there, with all these kids, and I'm just observing and watching them play and watching them have fun. And I think it was me and another woman as well. And all of a sudden I just hear this a scream coming from the other door that's locked and chained, and it's kind of shaking. I notice it's kind of shaking, and I'm just hearing somebody like, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. And I'm like, oh my God, that's an actual person in here talking about let me out. The whole time it wasn't a person, it was a kid. It sounded like a little bitty voice screaming to the top of their lungs, like, let me out, let me out, let me out. And I got so scared, but I know I couldn't open up the door alone because it had like chains on it. It was locked. So I had got other, women from upstairs, and I'm telling them like, yo, is somebody in here? And they're screaming, let me out. We need somebody to open up this door. And I believe it was somebody that came really quick, and they found the way to open up this door with these chains on it and break them off. And as soon as the door was open, it was a little girl in a blue dress, and she was so dusty, she was so dirty, and she just ran out the door and just was screaming. It was like everybody started screaming, like everybody started running. She first ran in the door with all the kids in it, and she just screaming, and all the kids was screaming because they were scared. They didn't know what was going on. And then she ran upstairs where everybody else was at that was waiting for, to go back in the house, or being able to go back in the house. And she just ran up there screaming, and everybody didn't know. Everybody just heard was screams, and everybody just started running. They don't know what they was running for, but they was just running and screaming because everybody else was screaming. And this little girl that was locked in a room, and she was dusty and dirty and had on this blue dress, and her face just all smoked up, it looked like. And she had ponytails, and I see blue and yellow ponytails, and she was skinny, she was small, looked like she hasn't been eating. And she just ran up there and she just started screaming, ah, ah. And she got so scared herself by seeing all the people. It's just like she broke down, like into like just like a panic, like her heart was racing too much. And I saw somebody just hold her. Somebody just started holding her, because she was just screaming. And I'm just sitting there, like standing there looking in shock, like, oh my God, what just happened? What is this? Why was this little girl trapped in this room where we live with all just women and children? Who is this little girl? How long she been in a room, or in that room just chained up? Why? This one was deep. It was very quick. Like I said, it felt like I went to sleep. And as soon as I fell asleep, I was in this dream. And I woke up and I just knew everything. And I'm like, oh, I should go tell somebody. I'm scared. I should go tell somebody. And I'm like, well, who do I tell? I don't have nobody to tell. So I was like, I'm going to just record what happened. and tell it to y'all. You know, I don't know what the meaning of this dream is. I would love to dream and interpret it as something specific about the busted windows. It was like project windows. Like project buildings. And everybody was outside of the building. Had to be outside of the building. And it was something specific about this lady that was coming around to us trying to warn us, but she was kind of like whispering it, but she was the main lady that kind of knew what was going on. And she was telling us, like, don't be fooled. And she said something about poison. And it was also something about the basement. About the basement where all the kids was playing at, the 2 different doors, the 2 different rooms. But I feel like the kids wasn't supposed to be in the rooms, or the little girl maybe wasn't supposed to hear the kids. But I was just in shock. So I hope that this dream, helps you in some type of way, helps somebody in some type of way, maybe helps me in the future some type of way. Helps maybe even, I don't know, helps find somebody in some type of way, or helps prevent something from happening to somebody in some type of way. When we hear certain things, right, it may help us like, oh yeah, let me pay attention to that. Let me pay attention to this, just because. Or let me watch my kids a little closer. Or, let me pay attention to that door. Let me pay attention to that basement. Let me pay attention to these people outside. Let me pay attention to these screams that I might hear. Right? So, that's all I got. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just dreaming and just sharing with y'all my dream. Happy Busy Back, baby. Peace.